Alright, what's up guys? JR here. It is Wednesday, August the 30th, 2017, and this is going to be my trading day. Looking for two trades today. That's pretty much what I've decided on. I just stick with two trades a day. See a second entry short right here that I like. The signal bar isn't the best, but I still do like the setup because we have a triple top right there. We have that failed break. We come up, test the EMA, and we turn down. This bar is semi-neutral, kind of a doji, but the way I see it is that this could have closed pretty much anyway, so I'm still thinking we're going to go lower, retest these lows, and we're going ahead and working down right now. I don't have this trend line on there. Let me go ahead and put that on just so you guys can see that. But there's definitely a trend working down, something like this. If you really want to be particular, you can say that this is the break right here and then this is the push to a new low, but I still do think that we're going to come down here and retest that low anyways. And one more thing, sorry that there was no video last week. I actually forgot to mention that I was going out of town. I went down to Florida. I wasn't completely sure if I was going to be able to trade, and when I got down there I assessed the situation and I was not able to trade, so I basically went a whole week without trading, and then on Monday I had something to do as well. So yeah, I've kind of been out of the groove a little bit, but back into it and still trading pretty well, so no real complaints there. But yeah, this is my first trade, second entry short. This is your new low right there. This is your first entry pullback, second entry once we break beneath this bar. Not the best signal bar, but once again, triple top right there, failed breakout. We kind of test that EMA and turn back down, so I like it. First contract is going to come off at 1 point, so that's going to be 43.50, and then we're just going to leave the second contract right down there at 2 points, 42.50. Looking for two trades today, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. Right now it appears to be working out pretty nicely. We just need one more tick before we reach our exit, and now I'm bouncing off my exit. Fairly easy trade. Alright, so we're out of that one. Let me go ahead and move my stop to break even. I know that I should have this automatic strategy on. Somebody sent me the video. Thank you for that. Don't completely know how to pronounce your name, but thank you very much. I do appreciate you. I started watching it. Something happened. I was distracted, and then basically life happened. I went different places and etc. Still haven't gone back to finish watching that yet, but I will. I'll put that on, and I'll get those automatic strategies working. So yeah, we got the first contract. Oh, excuse me, let me pause this video and clear my throat. Alright, that's that fresh out of bed throat nonsense, I guess you could say. But we have a double bottom right here, one tick away from getting our second 2-point runner contract. We could bounce right here. It's looking like it. There's a lot of buying here, so we just got stopped out right there for the runner. It's okay, no worries. I got what I was looking for. All I need is one more for the day, and then I'm pretty much good. I have a dentist appointment today anyway, so hopefully I can get this thing relatively quickly because I have somewhere that I need to be. But yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to go to pause, and I will be back. I'll be back when I get something else. Alright, so a brief little update. We had a double bottom right here. We bounced. We popped into what appears to be a spike in channel so far. There was a failed second entry short right here. So basically, this is going to be, I'm counting this as my new swing low. This is your first entry short right there, pullback. Second entry short, pretty decent amount of support stacking up right there. It's right off the EMA. It was a doji. Wasn't really too much of a fan of this, but it turned out it would have worked. Maybe I should have taken it. Oh well. And then there's another trade right here that is looking like it's most likely going to work. Wanted to take it. It's just that I wanted to see a higher low just to be a bit safer, but analyzing it after the fact, this is really going sideways right there. That's a bit of a mini range, and usually these failed breakouts tend to work out pretty well. If you look at this bar, we opened right here, traded all the way down, broke out of the bottom of this bar, and then managed to trade all the way back up and close on the absolute high and actually make a new extreme for that bar. So that's pretty, that's a lot of buying right there. That's a good sign. I don't think you would have your 4 ticks just yet, but let me look and see. So the entry for that would have been 48.25, and then right now, so far it's at, okay, so you just hit the 4 ticks. Let's see if we get that 5th tick. And if so, then that was a trade that I probably should have taken. I wanted a higher low, or at least a legitimate second entry to make that a tad bit safer after we kind of had a slight overshoot of this spike in channel and then a big bearish bar, which led to a break of our channel, and then this closed completely outside of it. And then, yeah, so that trade would have worked out right there. It's a pretty good looking signal bar, but I wanted something a bit safer in my opinion. But yeah, missed that one. This little trading range, oh wow, that was, man. Okay, this little trading range right there is that's a pretty good sign. And then when you have a really bullish bar like that, I guess I really should have taken that. So we'll see. I'll look for another one. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, so back to pause. Alright, so another brief little update. I just realized that I started talking without even unpausing the video. But another update, we're trending higher. Still not completely sure where this line is. I just checked the midday chart, and MAC has something similar to this, slightly different angle because our bars are a little different. But I noticed that we have a measured move, so first leg is going to be this one right here. There to there, and then the second leg is going to be right there to there. And then if you notice, I think that lines up pretty evenly. This thing never wants to work. I have a lot running on my PC, the screen capture thing, and I'm also on Skype screen sharing, so it's like I clicked this like 5 times. Okay, boom, now it's working. Yeah, and as you can see, that's a perfect measured move right to the closes from the overnight. So we'll see if we make it up there. Went into a bit of a trading range right here, so hopefully I can get a nice little failed break lower setup and take that thing to the long side. Yeah, it'll be a nice long trade. We'll see if the angle for this trend line is completely correct. Not completely sure right now, but I'm definitely not going long anywhere up here. We've been away from the EMA for a little bit after this big pop up. So I'd like to see us come back and at least test that and maybe get some type of a rejection off this trend line. I think Max is a tad bit, I guess, flatter. I can play with these angles, but I'll do that when I'm not recording, because I don't want to stretch out the video and make it longer than what it needs to be. Just trying to keep it to the bare essentials, etc. So yeah, ideally what I want to see here is a failed break lower or a nice second entry long, either or a nice higher low. I'll take any one of those if the setup is looking right, and as long as we don't sell off too hard and push through this EMA. Because if we sell off hard, push through this EMA, and don't actually make it up top here, then that's fine. I'll look for short setups. But in the meantime, what I'm thinking is that we are going to come up and test this high just based off the measured move and the current upward bias, which has been pretty strong. So looking for a failed break or a second entry long or a higher low. And yeah, hopefully I can get that within the next hour. Yeah, within the next hour, because my dentist appointment is at 2, so I need to start getting ready. I'm not going to go and give you guys my life story, but yeah, back to pause. Alright, so basically we have a semi-failed break lower right here, right off the EMA and off my trend line. It's just that this isn't exactly what I was looking for. I was really looking for us to actually kind of break out of this instead of just kind of going a few ticks beneath it and then turning up and closing essentially inside of the range. So hopefully this thing doesn't run off without me, but what I'm going to look for is a higher low. Maybe we'll get a pullback, and then that'll give us a true second entry long, and if we get that, I'll be a lot more comfortable with it. I can see this popping off right now, and if that's the case, it's disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. You don't always see exactly what you would like to see, and sometimes you just have to take these things. And I've noticed that sometimes when I do take them, it doesn't always turn out the way that I would have liked. So I try to just stick with what I would like to see, because at the end of the day, this is about making money, and you have to get in where you think you can make money. And since I already have made money, I'm not necessarily as pressed to just jump into something that I don't see as being perfect, because at the end of the day, if I were to take a full 2-point stop right here, this would completely erase the win that I have from earlier, and I would be minus 50 instead of plus 50 for the day, when I can just be patient, wait for something that aligns to exactly what I was expecting and hoping for, and have a lot better chance and come out with my anticipated goal for the day. And judging by the way that this bar kind of retracted right there, It's not the best close, so maybe we may get that higher low that I was hoping for. There's a bit of resistance stacking up right there. It's kind of like a quadruple top, and then we tested it, pulled back. We're still testing off of it right now, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully that makes sense what I just said. But pretty much this is about making money, and you have to kind of weigh the risk, weigh the pros and cons. I could risk entering right here. It's not a bad entry, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad entry, but there are more safer entries than this per se. But then again, I'm still an amateur at this, so I'm still learning, still in the process of developing all the experience that comes with really mastering this. So yeah, I could be wrong, but pretty much I try and filter my trades based off risk, how probable I think they are to work, how safe they are, and I don't want to say I base it off my past performance for the day, but if I already have money in the pot, I'm really not in any rush to just hop in another trade and potentially lose the money that I just made, when I can just be patient and sit and wait for a better setup, or not take any setup at all and still walk away for the day profitable, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But yeah, not looking to press it, but yeah, so back to pause. Alright, so we have a higher low right here. Basically, we went out the low and the high of this bar. I didn't want to enter on a stop because that is right into resistance, so I put a limit order in there. We'll see if I get filled. We're bouncing off of my entry right now, so hopefully I get filled, because I do think we're going to come up here and test these highs. This is a big stop, though. That's the only thing. It's going to be a full 2-point stop that I have to keep on here. I could tighten it to a tick or two beneath that and reduce the risk, but you're really safest if you keep your stop down below the actual swing low. That's really the safest place. And I think I may have missed this trade. I don't want to chase it and slide this up, because we're getting close to those highs when it comes to the exit. And I also don't want to increase the size of that stop. But yeah, this thing probably won't come back. I know we're going to pop as soon as we get a few ticks above that. You know what? Oh my gosh. That's the problem when you're too conservative, man. Now if it comes back, I don't even think I want anything to do with it if it comes back, because I'm not suspect. I'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm in this trade. This is a colossal stop. I'm going to leave it where it is, though. We'll see. This could still work out. It looks like we got a decent amount of juice up top there, but I still do like this to the upside. Let's see where my I think the high is like 53.25, so my first target is 2 ticks before the actual closes of the overnight. We'll see what happens. This is not my ideal entry. Safest place would have been to enter down there. This is the entrance for the once you break out of the low of that bar and then you turn up and bust out of the highs. I would have preferred 1 tick better, but we'll see what happens. If we get a failed second entry short right here, that'll be nice as well. So we'll see. But we did just come off of one end of my trend line, and typically you want to go to the other end when you come off one side. So yep. But gonna go to pause. I'm just hoping I didn't enter this too late. But yeah, gonna go to pause and I'll be back. Alright, so we have second entry short right here, basically. Nice bearish reversal bar, another bearish reversal bar. So what I'm hoping happens is that we end up trapping these shorts and we go ahead and blast on up, because we are going to need a bit more momentum to actually make it up to the top, and I think we can get that if we successfully trap them, because the momentum from this little mini trading range right here, I think we used that up with this bar and then with this bar as well, although I know that there's more stops in this overall region, but I think we're going to get some more shorts in here, and hopefully we can we can finish them off with this little push up, and I'm just hoping we don't need to come back to this EMA or come back to the trend line before we do that. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but if anything, this is going to be the move up. So all right, so I'm looking at this trade and it's not looking too good. Analyzing it after the fact, I bought the breakout, which you do not want to do. There's still hope because ideally the odds are saying that we are going to go higher to test that, and we have this trend working up, we have the EMA working up, and yeah, so we still could turn around right here. This is the second entry short, so we're just waiting to see if this fails, but it's not looking too good. Should have entered down here, but I'm going to hold on and see. I'm not going to close this because this could still turn out to be a winner in the end. And we'll see how we respond to this trend line. It could actually turn around and make another entry right here, and if that's the case, I'll probably actually add on. Yeah, it's a decent amount of rejection that we just noticed right there. So I don't like this entry though, I will say that. It's just in the moment I thought we were going to pop up and keep going because of that failed break. Usually when you get a failed break, it's good enough to push you out the upper end. But yeah, this is the trading range, and you have to treat it like a trading range, and you don't buy the breakout. Typically you want to fade it. So but this is looking like a nice setup right here. Alright, so I'm going to go to pause and see how this bar closes. But right now it's looking like pretty good rejection off the EMA and rejection off the trend line, because if you notice, we opened up here, traded all the way down, and then we snapped back up relatively quickly, and we only have about 300 and some change ticks left in this bar, so it's looking pretty strong. And these are all things that you want to pay attention to while you're trading. You want to pay attention to acceptance and rejection of prices. You want to make sure that you're noticing rejection in the direction that you're hoping to trade in, because if you're not, then that doesn't really strengthen the trade, and that could be something to consider. So basically, if we kept having bearish bars coming down, then I probably would go ahead and close this trade. But I knew that since we have the trend line, the EMA, and the overall bias that it's a range day and the trend is up, most likely we're going to continue going higher. So, and with the rejection that I saw, I do want to hold on to this, and hopefully I didn't speak too soon. I think it probably is safe to put a stop above there. I'm not going to do that though, because this bar didn't close incredibly bullish. But if we do break above that, that's going to be the failed second entry short, and that's probably going to give us what we need to go ahead and get these targets, well, at least the first target filled. So yeah, and we did still close inside of our trend line, but I'll see what happens. Just going to go to pause and I'll be back. Alright, since we just took out that double bottom, it's looking like I might get stopped right here. So I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen. That's a lot of selling that just kicked in right there. Alright, so that next bar just closed and the trend line's still holding, so it's a good sign. I just don't like how these lows have pushed progressively lower, and then there is resistance up top here, and then this entry is it's a bad entry. It's a really bad entry, but hopefully this thing will pop on up. I still have faith in it. I still think that we are going to go higher, but yeah, we'll just have to see. Because at this point, I won't be surprised if we do flip. If we tick one tick higher than this, then reverse, come down, stop me out, and then go back down and test those lows. But I like that measured leg. I like the trend up, and that puts us right at those highs for the day. So that's a couple things that are pointing up there. We have the trend, the measured move, and the fact that it's a range day. So yeah, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to go long. And yep. But if we break above this bar, then I'll probably go ahead and tighten my stop to a tick or two beneath this bar, because we'll treat that as a new signal bar. And yeah, if we do manage to come back and go beneath that, then it's RIP, it's over at that point. But back to pause. Alright, so we just broke higher, and another thing that I noticed is that the good thing about this bad entry is that it's the same exact entry that I would have gotten if I had taken the failed second entry short right off the trend line. So that does work out. So I'm happy about that one. And yeah, this is a trade that I would have taken if I wasn't already in right here. So basically I would have put my stop right there. So we should be good. We should be good. And my stop's going to stay in the same spot because I usually keep it 2 ticks beneath my signal bar anyway. So alright, but hopefully we get some momentum now that the second entry short has in fact failed. This trend line is continuing to hold, and yeah, I want to see a nice little pop on up. First target's coming off at 1.5275, second target's going to come off at 2.5375, and yeah, hopefully this thing turns out to be a good trade. But gonna go back to pause. I don't know how long this video has gotten or is getting, so I want to keep it semi-short. But alright, so we're finally getting some gas now. We continued to hug this trend line and continue going higher. We have the failed second entry short right here, which was ultimately my saving grace. Came off the EMA trend line as well, hugged it, took a little bit. Honestly, I was a tad bit scared right here because we got a bit hung up. We traded back down again. Usually these traps and failed second entries take off a bit faster, but we should definitely be good now. There's a little gap right there. Hopefully it'll fill that right now so that there's nothing really calling it to come backwards after we start making this move higher. But yeah, don't chase your trades, man. This is a pretty, I mean, you can say it's a poor entry, but then again, there's reasons why you might want to take. There's reasons why I took it, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that this in fact is a trading range, and even now we're kind of still in the trading range. It's just that the bias has really shifted a bit and is a bit more up than neutral at the moment. But this is a trading range. You don't want to buy the breakout, and you definitely don't want to chase it. Should have entered down here. It's a failed break lower. Ideally, I was looking for an actual bar to close outside of it, a small one that I could enter 1 tick above, but instead this thing ticked like a tick or two beneath the lows of this and then turned up and closed inside of it, which isn't ideally what I was picturing in my head. But this is the safest entry right here. And then when we had kind of like this failed breakout pullback, we broke out of the bottom of that and turned up, went out of the top. Should have been paying attention that there's like a quadruple high right here. This is the highs of the mini range, so it's risky entering long right there, but I figured we could continue going higher since that is in fact a trap, and I know usually these failed breaks give you enough momentum to push out of the highs as well, and I thought we were going to make that run on up to the highs all in that move, but apparently we didn't. Came down for a second entry, came down for a second entry short, pulled back to the trend line in EMA again, which this is the much safer, better entry. Still hasn't worked out yet, but I'm pretty confident that it will. Although nothing is 100%. I have lost trades like this before that I was certain were going to work. Had the failed second entry short right off the trend line, and boom, got stopped out. But hopefully that's not the case for this one. It's just that it's looking promising. It's just taking a little bit to take off. But yeah, this is the better entry if you are going to take any of these. Don't chase your trade. You're entering right at the high. Yeah, and really the move is down here, and that's where you want to get in. You don't want to get in up here. And then the only reason why I survived this trade so far is because essentially it generated a new trade, a new move with this failed second entry. They trapped more shorts. It's right off the trend line, right off the EMA. And initially we were experiencing some pretty decent rejection. Then it kind of turned into, I don't want to say acceptance, but it wasn't really pushing prices away. It's just kind of holding it instead of forcing them away. Like, this is rejection right here. You come down, you touch it, you close on your high, and then boom, prices are gone. They don't even really think too much about it. They just take off. But yeah, back to pause until this trade works itself out. Alright, so we're one tick away from that exit right now. Let me go ahead and mark this trade. It's the real trade right there. Let me put on all the trades that I see. Failed second entry short right there. It's another one that I like right there. It's a long right there. Failed break lower. And then this is the one that I entered. I'm not going to mark that. I'm not going to mark that. I just really want this thing to turn up, feel me, because there's still the possibility that this thing can fail. It can turn around and stop me out and go even farther down. This trade is taking forever. I need to take a shower. I have somewhere that I need to be. I just want to get this over and done with. But yeah, we're one tick away from that exit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pause it. Phone's ringing in the background, so yeah. Well, this doesn't look too good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this stop. Put it to one tick beneath our signal bar. Oh, this is really frustrating, especially when you're on a time constraint. But it is what it is. Okay, so this is going to be the make or break bar. Depending on how this bar closes is going to determine whether or not I'm going to exit. I could exit with the tick right now, could hold on to it. It's just that when this ticked up right there a few seconds ago, it shot all the way back down to my entry price, and that was quite a bit of rejection. I didn't really like the way that looked, and we've been in this trade for so long. I don't even think I'm going to go for the runner. I think I'm just going to go ahead and drag that down, take both of them off at one point because I don't have time, and I'll see how this bar closes. And if it doesn't close ideal, then I'm just going to have to go ahead and exit and take what I can get or take the hit. But yeah, I'm just going to go back to pause. All right, it looks like we might actually do it right now. If we do get this, we'll probably actually pop on up to the highs, but I don't have time and I don't want to stay in this trade any longer. I'm just going to take both of them off at one point and call it a day. We tapped off my exit. We're one tick away from it right now. We just need a little push, and then we'll push through it, and then I will be done for the day. But yeah, hopefully we can do it right now. I mean, this thing has been like so slow and kind of semi, I don't want to say frustrating, but not unnerving. It's just this didn't give me a good feeling. It didn't feel good. This trade did not feel good. It was just like kind of stressful a little bit, but that's part of the game. That is a part of the game, and it's just something you have to deal with. And it helps if you can understand the price action of what prices are doing, like how they set up the second entry right here. It failed, and then that gave us more momentum higher. We had a little bit of a pullback right there, which created a double top. So then when we break above this, we should actually really pop. But it helps if you can understand what prices are doing and if you can find these lines, because that'll give you a bit more incentive to stay in the trade. So if I didn't have this trend line right here and the EMA wasn't right there, okay, so we're out. If I didn't have that stuff right there, then I wouldn't have stayed in this trade. I probably would have exited, but I'm not going to say anymore. It's longer than what I expected. But yeah, that's it. This is JR. And another thing, I know I don't say this, but if you guys like this stuff, please go ahead and subscribe. I do enjoy watching the subscribers come in and seeing the channel grow. It's a satisfying feeling. I like trading. I like making these trading videos, and it feels good knowing that you guys do in fact like it yourselves. So if you like the videos, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you like what I have to say, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, because I do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Probably going to go up and test these highs, but I'm done for the day. Have to go take a shower and go get my teeth cleaned. And yeah, I'll see you guys probably sometime next week. Once again, I apologize for saying that I'd have a video last week, and I apologize for forgetting to mention that I was going out of town. But yeah, that's it. This is JR. I will see you guys next time. Remember, don't chase your trades. Understand what prices are doing and where they're most likely headed, what they're doing, and what they need to do to achieve that goal to reach where it is that they were heading. We had a little failed break, which gave us some momentum to go higher. We needed, I guess, a form of a trap to really get more momentum to continue going higher. So we had that right here with the failed second entry short. We formed a double top right there, pulled back again, and now we have the momentum that we need to continue going higher with the buy stops from those shorts and the other people that realize that the market is in fact going higher. So they're chasing it. But that's that. Figure this stuff out. It'll help you. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.